So, one of the things that we need to begin to practice in our journey of recovery is having some balance in our life. Oftentimes, we are out of balance. We are either overworking, underworking, spending all of our time drinking, and not really having access to the clarity of our life. Drinking kind of makes things very unclear. And this is why, because in our mind, what we do is we rationalize, we justify, we minimize. These are all forms of denial, the way that we are showing up in the world. So we want to have some clarity and see what's really going on. The way that we do this is we start keeping a timesheet. So writing things down shifts what's happening in our conscious mind as well as in our unconscious mind. And it brings vagueness into clarity. And we really need this because of the amount of denial that goes along with drinking and addiction. It is just the way that our mind protects us. And so during this lesson, we're going to be talking about what do we need to do on our time schedule in order to bring vagueness into clarity so that we can start to have a different experience. And then we can shift things into a more balanced way of living. So our timesheet is going to have some different things on it. And this is going to be in your assignment, right? Your assignment that you're going to get is going to have a timesheet. And the first thing it says is, I value my time and my energy. And it starts from 7 a.m. in the morning until 11. And it is on every 30 minutes. This is what's on the timesheet. Also on the timesheet goes today's focus. So what am I focusing on today? So for recovery and for a new way of living, we are going to focus on, today's focus is always going to be on recovery habits. That's going to be the focus, always recovery habits. And then underneath that, it has some work tasks and some personal tasks. And what I would say early on for you is to just have a couple of work tasks and a couple of personal tasks on your sheet. So our brain is healing, and it takes a lot of time for that to happen. And so we want to be able to just have small goals in the beginning. It's okay. It's okay. I know those of you that are perfectionists and probably overworkers and overdoers are not going to like this suggestion, but it's going to be okay to just put a couple of tasks down under our work tasks and our personal tasks. And then you're going to fill out your schedule. And what I suggest is in the morning, first thing, whatever your morning routine is. A lot of us have a morning routine of getting some coffee, brushing our teeth, washing our face, maybe putting on makeup and doing our hair. And those are great, right? We're taking care of our physical body by doing those things. But we actually have to start adding in taking care of our emotional life and our mental life. Otherwise, we aren't going to be able to stop drinking. So in your timeline, I want you to add a recovery reading. Now, I'm going to post in the assignment a place where you can find some recovery readings. 2 minutes, literally 2 minutes of your life, you're going to take, and you're going to read something that's related to recovery. We're going to go to the hazelton.org website, and they have like about 5 different readings. One is the 24-hour day book, one is She Recovers, one is Touchstones. They have some very specific readings on there related to the recovery journey. And so in the morning, I want you to take 2 minutes of your time to mentally and emotionally be set for the day. And as you go through the day, I just want you to think about how that reading impacts and maybe attends to your life. How does that information that I read in that recovery meeting then sit with me? Okay, then we're going to go through the rest of the day, whatever you've got to do throughout the day. We're going to go ahead and fill out the timeline for every hour, even if it's an hour of rest, an hour of nap, whatever it is, go ahead and write it down. This is your timeline. No one's judging it. No one's dictating how it needs to be. This is how you are going to spend your time. In the timeline, I also want you to add a recovery meeting. So you've got your recovery reading in the morning. Sometime later on in the day or in the evening, I want you to attend a recovery meeting. Now, you can choose whatever fellowship you want to go to. There's going to be a list of fellowships that you can attend in your assignment. You're either going to attend, an AA meeting, maybe Dharma Recovery, maybe She Recovers, maybe Women for Sobriety. There's so many groups out there. And I want you to put one of the fellowships, one of the meetings in your schedule. And you can choose whether or not you go to an online meeting. I will provide you with links, or whether or not you are going to go to an in-person meeting. It's really up to you. But this is a habit, a recovery habit that needs to be put in place. So we've been thinking about life and the world in a certain way. And in that way, we have formed a belief that drinking is the only way to reduce stress, to relax, to have fun, and to socialize. Now that we've entered into recovery and we're trying to live a different way, what we are going to do is we are going to manage our stress, manage our socialization, manage our relaxation time with something different. And that's why we're going to go to recovery meetings. One, we need to hear the language of recovery. There's a whole language around it that you don't know about. So it's going to sound like a foreign language when you're in there listening. And that's why you need to go every day. So on your daily to-do list, each day, I want you to have a recovery meeting. And you can have fun with it. You can choose different ones to attend to, and you can look at them. And you can go, oh, I didn't really like that. Or I really like that. I'm going to go back again. And it can just be an experiment for you about which one feels best and matches best with who you are. I do recommend that you try the same community 2 or 3 times. Don't make a decision based on one time of attending a support group. Okay, so back to your timeline. I also want you to have an evening routine. So at the end of your time schedule for the day, towards your bedtime, whatever time that is, let's try to pick the same time every night. We're going to wake up at the same time, and we're going to try to go to bed at the same time. I know it's going to be challenging, but we're going to try to practice it. Again, we're just practicing this. And so about 30 minutes before bed, I want you to do a couple of things. One thing I want you to do is I want you to write down 3 things that you're grateful for before bed, and 1 thing that you are proud of yourself for. Literally, this is going to take 1 minute, folks. 1 minute of your time to do this. We are going to form this habit early on in your recovery practice. We're going to add it to your timeline. I would just put journal from 8:30 to 9 p.m. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to journal. I'm going to journal 3 things that I'm grateful for. And I'm going to journal 1 thing that I'm proud of. And I'm going to put that in my journal before I go to bed. So that's the lesson today. That's the lesson is I want you to fill out a daily timesheet, how I spend my time. So the way that I spend my time dictates how my life is going to be. Believe it or not, 1 day at a time turns into an entire lifetime. How do you want to spend your time? We've been drinking. So drinking takes up a ton of time. And if we're not drinking anymore or engaging in other addictive behaviors, we need to fill up our time with some other stuff. So if your timeline has a lot of gaps in it and you're starting to notice that that's a problem, then we're going to have to get out a list of hobbies, things that you can do that are good for you, that you enjoy, that make you feel good. It could be anything from going out and playing golf to going to the gym to taking a walk, to listening to a podcast, maybe going and doing a pottery class. It could be helping your kids with your homework, taking a hike. There's a whole world of activities out there that you can do that does not require drinking. A whole list of activities. And so if your schedule is feeling kind of open and you don't have like a 9 to 5 job, and you're just noticing a lot of space, then let's try to add some things to your timeline that will help you fill up the time. We are people that do much better with a plan. And so I want you to utilize this time schedule the whole time that you are going through this course. I really want it to become a habit for you to do every single day and then move into your life. The last thing I want to talk about is at the bottom of the timeline is a notes section. And in that notes section, I just want you to kind of jot down things that did go well and things that maybe didn't go well that you noticed that day. Maybe you noticed some feelings come up, you felt bored, maybe you felt anxious over the timesheet. Just kind of write down some of those thoughts and feelings and things that you noticed. That's the lesson for this week. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to fill out your sheet. If you have any questions, be sure to reach out to me and message me about them. You are worth it.